You know, I have to do this PT, and we now do it, it's not in-house. We go to a location. We've got this fabulous guy. His name is Larry. And as we're driving back from it today, my wife says, what is this story about Donald Trump saying that Liz Cheney should face a firing squad? She said, that's ridiculous. I'm sure he never said that. I said, there's no way. And, of course, he never said that. And, you know, Kamala Harris runs to the microphone when she wants to tell a big, fat, slobbering lie, and she does it constantly. She's a drama queen. Liz Cheney's a drama queen. Nobody suggested at all, in plain English, that she should be shot. And so the White House is in on it. Obviously, Kamala Harris is in on it. Liz Cheney's in on it. The media's in on it. They're all friggin' liars. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But this is the last Friday before the Tuesday election, the biggest election of all of our lifetimes, the biggest election since the Civil War, quite frankly. And I mean that with all my heart and soul as somebody who's a student of history. This is the weekend where all the activists are out there. This is the weekend where you, the Paul Reveres and the Thomas Paines, if you haven't voted and there's early voting, you need to vote. If early voting is over, you need to prepare for Tuesday. But whatever you do, you need to get other people to vote. Just don't be bashful about it. These people on the left, they're not bashful about anything. But before we do that, I thought, from an inspirational point of view, January 20, 1981, at his inaugural speech, I want you to listen to something that Reagan said. This is only 3.5 minutes. I'm not going to play the whole speech, obviously. But it has a direct, maybe more indirect impact on the way I want you to think about this election. This election is about patriotism versus those who want the fundamental transformation of America. That's what it is. It's about the ruling class, which is destroying our country. The ruling class, which is led by the likes of Kamala Harris, which promotes individuals who are incompetent, have their jobs not because of merit, just because, but they're part of the same thing. So let's take a little listen down memory lane. Cut 2, go.
If we look to the answer as to why for so many years we achieved so much, prospered as no other people on earth, it was because here in this land we unleashed the energy and individual genius of man to a greater extent than has ever been done before. Freedom and the dignity of the individual have been more available and assured here than in any other place on earth. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Those who say that we're in a time when there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, they add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been as the will and moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. It is a weapon that we as Americans do have. Let that be understood by those who practice terrorism and prey upon their neighbors. As for the enemies of freedom, those who are potential adversaries, they will be reminded that peace is the highest aspiration of the American people. We will negotiate for it, sacrifice for it. We will not surrender for it now or ever. We are Americans.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump talks about the enemy within, and the enemy within gets very angry. We've talked about this before on this program. The enemy within, well, that was basically Abraham Lincoln in 1838, the young Lyceum speech. He's talking about the enemy within our country, those who are promoting slavery and division in the nation. We do have an enemy within. It's historically correct when Donald Trump uses it, and it's present day correct in his use. Kamala Harris is leading a Democrat Party that wants to fundamentally transform America. The American Revolution wasn't fought to fundamentally transform America. The American Revolution was fought for representative government, not to destroy our society. The French Revolution was fought to fundamentally transform their society, and it led to 10 years of terrorism and mock trials where so many people lost their lives. We're not interested in fundamentally transforming America. We're interested in taking our government back. The Democrats are interested in fundamentally transforming America, our economic system, our legal system, our constitutional system, our borders, the citizenry. Their war, their revolution is aimed at the civil society and to destroy it. We seek to protect it and defend it. Kamala Harris is a pathological liar. She runs to the microphone to lie about Donald Trump. He's unhinged. New word that she's learned. She can't stop repeating it. He's dangerous. That's what their polling tells them, to get out their base. Now, she's dangerous. Look what she's done to the people on the border. Look what she's done to these women who are sold into sex slavery. Look, where are the 325,000 children? Nowhere to be found. Some hellhole, someplace in this country, the most unimaginable conditions. She never even talks about them. She supported Black Lives Matter, just like LeBron James, the biggest ripoff ever, particularly of black people. They've never apologized. No wonder LeBron James just endorsed her. All the billionaires are endorsing her. All the entertainers are endorsing her, bar some who have the guts to stand up to it. Pretty grotesque. And so they have to put words in Donald Trump's mouth. And they're doing this all over the country in Senate race after Senate race, House race after House race. You see, the Republicans who fought to preserve this society, to preserve the Union, and the Democrats who sought to destroy the Union and promote slavery. Today, it's the Democrats who apparently have the billionaires on their side, certainly most of them, with their oligarchs, spending a fortune, $1.2 billion, to elect somebody, Kamala Harris, who will destroy our economy, who will destroy your way of life, who will drive up the cost of food even more, drive up the cost of clothing and energy, and she'll blame it on somebody else. She's the threat to democracy, more accurately, to our republic. She is a dangerous individual. They have shown that they will use federal law enforcement to lock up their political enemies. They will use federal law enforcement to lock up individuals who exercise their free speech rights and freedom of association rights if they dare to stand outside an abortion clinic or voice opinions they disagree with. They will not bend a finger to stop anti-Semitism in this country, not a finger. They will not bend a finger to go after the criminals in this country who are attacking our families, particularly in the inner cities. They made it abundantly clear they will side with the terrorists in the Middle East and Iran in the Middle East against the Jewish state that seeks to protect the Holy Land, the birthplace of Judaism and Christianity. They've made it abundantly clear. Kamala Harris and the current regime is the most anti-Semitic, anti-American regime this nation has ever seen. And she wants you to believe that she will unite the nation. She calls you neo-Nazis. She calls you fascists. She and they call you Hitler. But they're going to unite the nation. No, they're not. They're going to pull every tyrannical trick to seize permanent power, eliminate the Electoral College, make sure that illegal aliens get amnesty so they can vote for Democrats, and then have chain migration so the country can never survive this. We don't even have assimilation anymore. They want to keep people dumb in their dumb schools, their indoctrination camps, which we call our public schools. They reject school choice, particularly for minority kids. LeBron James doesn't give a damn about them. LeBron James defends Democrat after Democrat, endorses them, despite the fact that little black kids in dangerous neighborhoods are facing criminality, gangs, and can't go to quality schools because he opposes school choice. He's done not a damn thing for the inner city communities. Kamala Harris hasn't done a damn thing for inner city communities. Nothing. Zero. I want you to hear what Donald Trump said when we come back in Glendale, Arizona. So Kamala Harris and Liz Cheney, two drama queens, can pretend that he said something so horrific, and they're so offended, where they try to control the news cycle for the next 48 to 72 hours. And I'm here to tell you, turn the news off. Turn it off. Turn the news off, TV and radio. Do the right thing by your country. Do the right thing by your children and grandchildren. Do the right thing by yourselves. Unless you want to see the basics for survivability, further destroyed in front of your eyes. They keep praising the economy. The economy went south again. The last of the unemployment numbers are a disaster. The private sector shrank by 28,000 jobs since 2020. It created 12,000 jobs this last month. 12,000 jobs. That's not even 1,000 jobs a state. That's not even 500 jobs a state. It's a couple hundred jobs every state. But don't worry. The government since 2020 has grown by 40,000 jobs. Oh, yeah.